Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Just a couple things. I'm going to try to put my camera on. I don't know if you can see me or not.
Are you on your boat? Just to rub it in.
Anyway, so just a couple things. I mean, Tom is such a great historian, and I'm just amazed at the detail that he has, and he's still kept. And I really appreciate what he's done, and he's a hard act to follow. But just a couple things. I started in 2000, and I was there for about 16 years. And one of the things that always amazed me was the transition that people could make, not only doing the clinical trials, but the changes that occurred within the department, within the office. RTOG was something which was a force to reckon with just in research. They were simply an amazing group. And obviously Bill even mentioned the plenary sessions, and that's gone on for years and years. But with the start of Akron and the demands of these large trials, it was just amazing. And I think that Tom mentioned NLST was the most complicated trial. At one point, I believe that NLST was also the largest funded trial ever done by NCI. I believe it was around $220 million itself over the course of the program.
Right.
A couple things. DMIST, DMIST changed the way that monitoring was done in auditing was done in clinical research. The trial was so large that we had to devise different methodologies on how to actually do monitoring. And that was something that we had to work out with the NCI. Edit was on unbelievable numbers of calls, as was the entire team. And so that changed the way that large-scale trials are audited, and I believe even to this day. There were a lot of things when I first came that, having come from a hospital background, that weren't in place. Policies and procedures, for instance. It's so policy procedure oriented being in the hospital. When I first came, I had asked Joanne Stetz, who is the director of the data management for RTOG. I said, well, I'd really like to see your policies and procedures. I don't understand how you guys are doing work. And so she said, oh, we have them. And she brought me a stack that had to be 2 feet high of emails that were her policies and procedures. And she had stacked opposite on each way. It was just an amazing thing. But the office, the point is, we've transitioned. Everyone there continued to do the research, despite the added work to do policies and procedures and establish GCP compliance and MIS standards. All electronic, as Tom mentioned, all electronic collection of data and forms. The establishment of IROC and the transition to the other groups, research hasn't missed a beat. And that's something that is just phenomenal, that everybody there should be really proud of and recognized for their efforts to get their work done and still make the changes that were important to be done. And I think we should also mention, if no one will be, we had friends and NCI. I remember that we dealt a lot with Barb Galen and Dan Sullivan, who were always interested in Akron, ACR. Maybe not Charlie having to deal with Barb as much as he did, but it was, we're fortunate to have good contacts in NCI as well. There's probably people that I'm missing. And so I just wanted to just bring a couple of those points out and to thank everybody there at this point for their passion and their unbelievable efforts and help that they have given to all the cancer patients around the world and for improving their lives. So I want to thank you very much, and you should all give yourselves a pat on the back. It's a phenomenal job.
Great point. Thanks, David. Thank you, guys.